Okay, folks, Michel Renoir Yeldell here, aka Rhyme, aka the Rhyme Saboteur, whatever. Anyway, been sitting on this for like 2 days. I'm a full-time Uber Lyft driver. Love the job, it's great. So anyway, picked up my first passenger of the day, Friday morning, about 7:15 a.m. Caucasian woman, white woman, whatever. Um, had a great trip, 30-minute trip. Um, Taking her to get a procedure done at the hospital. And we get there, we compliment each other. She complimented my car. I love your setup. You were great. I told her I'm giving her 5 stars. She's giving me 5 stars. All in all, great trip, great person from my first impression. So she reaches in her purse, which I'm thinking she's about to tip me. And, you don't have to tip your Uber or Lyft driver, but it's greatly appreciated. But anyway, she reaches in her purse, hands me this, a letter. This is for you. Thanks. I appreciate it. So she gets out the car, goes on her merry way. So this is where it gets a little weird. So I get down the road and I always park in the same area of a drop off so I can maximize my gas or whatever. And I decide to read the letter. And I open said letter. And it is this is the title, A Letter of Apology Just for You. This is the official typed, printed apology from white people. The last thing I expected to see or, let alone read. But I'm going to get into it. I'm going to read the letter in its entirety and break it down. I don't think these words have been said enough, and I want you to know how very sorry I am. I'm sorry that we don't see you for the unique and beautiful person that you are, that our shallowness prevents us from seeing beyond the surface. I'm sorry that we judge you, not for the content of your character, but for the color of your skin. I'm sorry that you have grown up thinking that black is not beautiful and that you are somehow less than a whole person. Strike one. I'm sorry that you have been denied opportunities for work and education simply because your skin is a different color. Strike two. I'm sorry that you were forced into a life not of your choosing and treated as a piece of property instead of a son or daughter of the king. The king meaning the big guy, G-O-D. Strike three. I'm sorry your children were taken from you, whipped, burned, tortured, hung, and that you have had to grieve the unthinkable loss. History, not me per se. I'm sorry we cared more about economic gain than about doing what is right. I'm sorry that it took a shameful 245 years to end the institution of slavery in America, and ashamed that my ancestors did unspeakable crimes against your ancestors. I'm going to take away one strike for that, I'm sorry that we care more about ourselves than we did about you. I'm sorry that you were forced to live separate and pushed into schools, neighborhoods, churches, hospitals, and restaurants that were not as good and who would not see you for the beautiful person that you are. Back then, we kind of had a lot of businesses in our own communities were kind of stronger then. So, maybe they weren't as good. But, I'm going to have to put a strike for that one in there too. I'm sorry that it's been over 50 years since the passage of the Civil Rights Act, and yet your struggles have not changed much. I'm sorry that you are seen as a threat simply because your skin is not the right shade. I'm sorry that this country is still not a safe place for you, that you are pursued simply because you are black. I'm sorry for Rodney King, Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Freddie Gray, and the long list of black men, women, and children whom we should never forget. Their deaths should never have happened. I'm sorry for the violence. I'm sorry that violence often comes from those who should protect you. True. Embrace who you are, but know that you are not just black and I am not just white. We are more than a color. We are each beautiful just as we are because of who we are. You are created in the image of God who transcends color, and we are a part of each other. I'm sorry that I can never fully understand your struggles in your life, but I hope you know that you do not stand alone. On behalf of those who, for whatever reasons, have never said these words, please accept this apology. I am very sorry. And we're going to call her L. She put her whole government, first, middle, last, signed and printed, Charlotte, North Carolina. All right, L. Let's get into this. I've never grown up thinking that black is not beautiful. I know that black is beautiful. I love black. I love me some me. I love being black. I wouldn't want to be anything else, just like I'm sure you wouldn't want to be anything else. It's just, I'm going to pull this back up just to use it as a reference. Because it was, and I've told a few people, even told a few passengers about this, and some of them died laughing because it was just so ridiculous to them that I would be singled out. You know, it was premeditated. Like, she typed the letter up, or I don't know if she got it off a website or printed it, just printed it up and and just said, the first black person I see, I'm gonna give it to him. I don't know what was going through her head. I'm not insulted per se. I will even go as far as saying that I was touched by it, because just to do that, regardless of how the person takes it, is kind of a beautiful thing, and it shows that we're headed in the right direction, But, most of I argue with a lot of pro-blacks about what's going on, and there are a lot of racist white people, a lot of racist black people, but as a whole, I feel that society has moved on. It's just some people are just still stuck. And but this is stuff that still needs to be discussed, and that's why I'm doing this video, because of course I thought it was hilarious, but there can be a serious undertone to it as well. Because different people that I talked to about the letter had different reactions. And most were positive, and most were saying, just like I said, her heart was in the right place. Definitely was in the right place. But, some people are going to take it differently. Some people would be thoroughly insulted by this letter, because it's kind of like, hey, black guy, I see you've been struggling there, and here's a shiny apology for you. I mean, I don't know. It's just funny to me that I was singled out, or that you kind of did the same thing that a racist person would do, or a prejudiced person would do, would single me out and assume. I grew up, born in Chicago, grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina, had the best childhood, ever. I had a mother and father, a mother that taught me right from wrong, and a father that taught me how to be a man. Separate households, but I still had a mother and a father to teach me what was right and wrong. I didn't, I myself, or most people that I knew, didn't go through these things. So, like I said, I wouldn't say that I'm in, hold on, babe, no, go back upstairs. I wouldn't say. Like I said, I just didn't. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to feel about this letter. It was crazy to me. You know. Forced into a life of my. Not of my choosing, and just. It was hilarious. It's sad. A lot of truth was told, but it's just, you know, I can't say I appreciate it. I can say that, but a lot of this stuff did not pertain to me, and I know a lot of black people gonna be like, oh my God, but it does, and your ancestors and all this and that, and it's like, how long are we gonna hold on and not move forward and be stuck? And the only person that only people that ever told me that I couldn't do something was black people. No white man has ever pulled me aside and said, hey, little darky, you can't be president, or you can't be the national treasurer, or you can't be a rocket scientist or aeronautical engineer. No one has ever told me that I couldn't do anything. So, albeit, this letter is appreciated, but it is a bit misguided. And I just feel as a nation we can move forward and stop letting the media race bait and distract us with everything, because this society is working. It is. You got bumps and bruises with terrorism and racism and sexism and economism. Is that a word? But like I said, I felt the letter was genuine but a bit misguided. So just tell me what you guys think. Like I said, I had a good laugh, and then later on, the more I thought about it, it was a bit serious. So just let me know, guys. Peace.